hip-hop is karwanisa abantu binjimari. You have seen clips making rounds. But European at if you are caught violent, yes, one would buy the you can hook violent. Friendly and yes, mpora, then you are following a protocol. Yes. Yes. Please welcome.
Yet another episode of the Boom Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while, but yeah, we keep grinding. Welcome to this episode, and thank you so very much for subscribing to our channel. Thank you so much for following our audio platforms. Thank you so much for going down to Deezer, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, and very many other, about 20 plus of those audio streaming platforms. We are always right there. Thank you so very much for following the show. The Boom Podcast happens every single Monday. We are always on the Boom Podcast, and of course you can access the podcast yet on 8 TV and 8 Media. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel as well. We are always right here locked in. Even your love, that is always happening around. And today we have something important that we are talking about today for the creators. It's time to log in. Well, a lot has been happening. The Mbarara City Council has been evading a lot of traders and all those hustlers on the streets. So unfortunate, and really it's been a lot. Arsenal is winning 4 titles. I'm not gonna lie on that. And of course, it's still a lot happening. Morocco getting that trophy for the AFCON. But that's not important. That's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about something important: the Copyright and Amendment Act 2006. Of course, now it's a bill 2025. That's what we're going to be dissecting. We're talking about the creatives, artists, and all that. You know, when they talk about when they talk about copyright, a lot of musicians think it's about music and all that. Now, I have a very special guest who knows all this, has a lot of insight into what copyright is all about, what creatives are, and of course, how they do their work, how can the work be distributed, what's going to be happening, and where the copyright law could lead the artists to. We shall be talking about all that. All you need to do is subscribe and welcome to the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, no wasting time. I have Brady Sparks. Brady Sparks is a vocal guy here around town, and he knows a lot really. He has a wide knowledge on all these subjects. He's here to talk us through the whole copyright. So Brady Sparks, welcome to this podcast. First say hello to all them Congolese.
Hello team kumaniza ntukodesa rwanga.
Tukodesa rwanga surely, because a lot of guys in Canada, USA, and many countries are streaming the audio. Kongantu wasakoso nyankole. Just for the case of the guys that don't understand the language as well.
Just nanyana mazicho bashirikia, but it's always a pleasure being on your show. This is the second time I think. The other time we are
at the ATV.
But this time I think the setup is a little bit different.
It's a little bit different.
Yeah. So I'm so happy. It's always a pleasure.
Brady Sparks is right here, and of recent, it was actually 2 days ago, the parliament sat and they were like, the copyright and amendment bill has to pass, and now we are waiting for the president to assent to the bill, to the law, to the act. Again, year 2006 later, they had to do some amendments. They want the creatives to earn more from their work. What's the copyright law, first of all, and what's it all about?
If you say it's, I would want first collective, because you said it's artists can earn through their work.
Creatives.
Yes, creatives can earn through their work. It's not about earning. I think the main objective of this law is to protect their creative works, music, stuff like that. This is not about artists, and it doesn't guarantee wealth. It's all about protecting your what? Your work. I saw some people were too excited.
Celebrating.
Yeah, they were like, now this, bro, before you get overhyped.
First know what it's about.
Yes, this bill in other countries I think it has been there in other countries. As this time around, we are just trying to align with the international standards. Yes, international ejureriyo and artists from other countries, but and only that this time around in in our country. So the copyright I mean the neighboring rights, what it's called the Copyright and Neighboring Rights Amendment Bill of 2025. Yes, so majorly it's meant to align like our creative work on the international standards. Yes, it's not all about earning. So I would first want to correct that.
That's going straight.
Yes. So this time I think the bigger picture right here is advantages, disadvantages, and how it will affect.
And who benefits?
Yes. So well, I think ekitulabanzeganyirwamu okusingayo is strict penalties abantu abakolesa workers aba creatives.
I saw it was one of the clauses.
Yes. Abakuba music, let's nizagamba munonga music because that's like major no yabachitiremu murro munonga. Even before I go ndakagire ku breaking her down, I want to first give credit to one guy, Eddie Kenzo. That guy, I think copyright bakatangajiwa like since 2010.
Bapaulo Cafe.
Yes. So copyright kureba in his era mwabasire ku that clause akwa right now think akuzenti yabire. It's not tekabire sign, but once it is signed, this guy inaja kuba naitaga a lot of
I saw a tweet from guy in Aporana next media with the Alpha Times now in the same thing, that this guy has actually broken barriers.
Because if it wasn't for him, I don't know, think many can't kuchika because the strategies are on that on where we are today. Because the government like to do it aggressively. So this time around, I think wakabanza ya
friendly and
yes, mpora, then you are following a protocol. But yes, yes, copyright one abantu abajibandize copyright karwanisa abantu ninjimare. You have seen clips making rounds. Let's go retrospectively about I think it was radio. Arukuyomba naba UPRS.
I saw that.
Yes. So that time still copyright bakaba shigano bajara, but engineer gonna bacha approaching keta shit. So Eddie Kenzo has done really great. And
credit goes to him.
Yes, credit goes to him and his association, the UNMF. I think Nigeria batiro enough fight to get this bill passed. And now if you are to go to the strict penalties, but penalty if you are caught or possessor someone's work without his authority,
violating.
Yes, one would by the you can violating. None of up to 10 years in prison or fines up to 50 million shillings. So njano whatever, of course iteka bana baroshoma on paper no huranguraka akiri. Yes, but then if you are going into details, effect yecho tutaka jena nanka na tutaka breaking down na advantage ya kabiri. At right now tumesa ngumuntu abe nakoresa craft yo muntu bakutanga kutima. Then in the long run, you know what will happen. Consumption ya local content eza kuvanja.
Talking about that, they got to the TikTok, where does this live? Awana inakola TikTok challenges a dance.
Kashimata nonkuseni kuiza kujangu. Nabasa kwa passenger this law and everyone out there are excited. Wakati wa some effects zacho nonzajirangu. I would rather go analog.
My music shouldn't be.
Yes, because if they say a radio, English TV to play your music, now it will come back to the quality of music you do. Is your music worth that move?
Is it worth paying for?
Yes, because yes, because here it has but the perspective has been artists and radios and the media. It's been like they made artists need media.
Are begging the media
more than the media should.
I get you.
So right now, if you tell them Makabajoti, or you know kushashura, it has been the other way around. Atokaja mshichukia but so yes, as to watch take kumnankani, to watch take amageza gayo C1 cha apurainga abantu bingi no kuraba chiruka. Yes, because they are going to get excited, very excited kwa mara kwa effect yacho. I'm sorry to say I'm very eager kureba iteka ko record
because let's talk about the young talents up.
Yes.
Abana bakutandika abine music wabo baba excited on the distribution but chichi now bakura no celebrating about copyright. Where does that leave them? Because maybe Omega 256 is a big artist, Brady, maybe music wabo bantu bamwenda tujeta on demand music comedy. Maybe radio take us up running a music yoko muntu. So kwa shows or by 300 or something, they play only those songs, they play on demand music. And abana batonze kwaika abari excited copyright.
Abana batoni jangu wabo excited. I think it's too early for you to get excited. Tika kuja mtera kuyambe. That's why abinji are going to be excited because the among direction here it's all about earning. This copyright law, guys, doesn't guarantee wealth. It's about the safety of your work. It's not just about music. Chiromba authors babutabo, chiromu comedians, one owning a content.
Spoken word,
yes, everything. As long as it's organically nature uni ochoze. Niyo nabi no owning. Kwa so one otandiko biro winji. Chizako hard to get your work out there because which radio station is going to pay an upcoming artist playing music?
Some radio stations they've been begging them to pay. Radio stations are stuck to play.
Watch it. So it benefiting the big dogs in the industry.
I get you.
Yes. So it's not for everyone. Abarachiganyurwa muntu bache kanyoni chimanyangu njira kugira ngo I'm very eager to kugira ngo ndebe how is it going to be implemented because these are two different things. Passing and no implementing.
Coming to that. But yes. Now, take us through copyright. Take us through what they say about when they play a song, how we track your work.
So, cross the ni music distribution. Ejeneyo kubanza. Remove fair remuneration, royalty distribution, orphan works, digital protection, and contract reforms. So, digital protection, of course, biru neza kubane protecting music yao. Like briefly. Then, orphan works neza kulifarinjira abeshongo z'abafire. Yes. Their music praise day in day out. Burizo music yabo ne playing, burizo everything. Konka these guys have never benefited from their work. So families zabo the other day nkareba was it nkareba Lilian Babazi bakume victim omunanka na uyabe na pants. So naye was how does this happen? Because tokanja this is an artist a wife, a late artist or innovation ngore must equal
and the talented artist.
Yes, because radio songs play 10 to 20 times a day on every radio station, almost to Uganda yon. So how do you tell me what I feel chimasangu earning nanka kakoma? Here, artists only earn through performance, stage presence. Go tajira stage, tunafanya same. So umuntu wako ya feel automatically nataragarika stage. So family yako bako zenyo because that kore watandika or something like this kajengo in a business. Wamara for someone inherits it. But for music it has not been clear.
Who inherits?
Yes.
And yet your songs keep
yes, because you know suffer but your music doesn't die. So does that mean that your revenue should die? No, it shouldn't stop. Abokoba, you have every new work creating song, you are creating that whatever that creative work, and you are able to go back. So if you are earning while alive, which must have family you find something, even if you are what? If you're dead, because music is a business. Your nature often works. It is actually finding the Munga version was about feed. Then royalty distribution. I hope it's going over is there. Now a new system for collecting and distributing royalties is being established with 60% going to authors, top performers, 31 to telecom companies, and 8.5 to aggregators for foreign back tunes. So, how is the distribution? Because you don't any manya, even every year I'm songozi. Kare kajengu na MTN. But this time around, neza kuwa involving a songwriter, producer, or one guitar, every name. Yes. Wakua na waka yao. Wakati hano mtabenaiza, chandike chosongoro wachandika ba wawe
wachinguza wa
yes but now it's going to be different everyone in a touch in the making of a song naza kubana
iwe bro abantu bashimye kuba celebrating amangu n'aba ninka ba producers n'aba songwriters instead of the artists
kandi manje ke chitakurira artist if it doesn't work on the front end chimasa it won't work in the back end. Yes, because implementation ni yera chereza effectiveness yazo. If it is not effective, if it's not being implemented, then there is no one who is going to benefit or a few, just a few. Akuba nabo ni jangwe cy'abarashemera go because it's already in place is color tuning na color tunes. Color tunes zitwire zero bakufuna chichi. So automatically now that is very clear kujangu nakuba nafuna something bigger than what
70
60%. Konga yes. Mwana wose zawe batuma almost like one color tune nabaji subscribe injira for 700 umeshonga zafuna 200. So the telecom company takes the lion's share of the what?
On the quality.
Yes. So at the year echecho ntuchira abanze kunanka aho ubuzima hobora harugiraho abamu think take artists are going to let think kwatanga sora producer daga kafuna chishonga chinda yo promote injire kateka michi
sasa na songwriter
yes sana hii
kandi bakija bakadalika bakafuna
yes sana ikirize kugira ngo achukore aburicha na wachukore free of charge na nyuko free of charge then twene tuyemu tugere
now artists have to sit with these guys and talk
and who is ready to talk
no one
because ati yakora mustamizana kugira ati kashu cyako bashitakoze
so nyino banzana mpeza
yes nyino kubanza mpeza it is bucha Uganda nizituenda kali yaho mbishi we need something is tukora muntu tangible gesha erite kartu ko kunagamba arutire Robert it only works omahanga garnankani because right now even a government yakoze kumara kugira ngo irite kashene rujuguta because tibine njari bara tracking air previous nankani previous ngoro mabara na chenete because right now let's take an example let's say Omega 256 right now taria what if her music plays how is she know music here playing yes kasi government should have first given it a backdrop kugira ngo how is it going to be how is their work sana umuntu asomuntu namwe nakujati na sana nabafutanga kuwayiriza abantu because look at your structure you have not given me a clear structure of how this is going to work.
They want to employ police but they are deploying era shooters.
So nekona niandika
if the president signs it to a law what is it passing that's when implementation comes and how they do earlier on they want to mount the gadgets the tracking devices on bars and media houses. Media houses already in this UCC in tracking so when we end up mounting those devices on bars but maybe
echocho ishana bakukigamba because eja no installing a device on bara yanjye
but I have
era ninyo namwante kama teka makakari what I'm going to do niza kubereka njereki I start playing Nigerian music.
So I was coming to.
So we are going to bring our local music from the local market. Instead the consumption now as a garka on the international audience because Chakobanza truth be said but singer production truth be said but singer whatever they put in their video quality whatever. So how to spend chukora kugira muntu yamba. Just to shangu just DJ tunaprenga bishongoro bitano byaba Nigeria let me play one Ugandan song. Just I know watch take him. So I mean chukora from kami bunchi benchuruga from
the homeboy. Aja akanchukora homeboy.
Wachenga chintecho. Mga right now yachimanya ngo hati ya homeboy yogo ino kumusasura. What do you mean when you kuhereza? What do you mean you kuhereza here pinyo kwanza nakaso? I would rather do what? Because ninkureka njera
because the music ino nja hero ko.
Yes. So aligning this bill with our local market ahubwo zibona wanjira ngo just at radio so it's clear because to in our song boost has been tracking airplay byeshongoro na TVs na but ujike tugiye era radios and TVs ezikiriya nankane mainstream media irigo ne hwamana so hati ya hirigo ne hwera mane aho ngiye ibintu bakabireta back then it would mean more chikanjiza making more sense than being implemented.
Competition.
Yes, because right now you think right now ninde abantu abaraganya abarya buganyirwa n'abantu abakoze music back then. For example, if this was Ojango chivakacheza back in 2008. Where would we be now by now?
So does
because media kechi ina mani media kane basa kusasura mwesho because that media this time around media houses are running bankrupt. Zigoni zichendeza because
begging because
yes yes the only thing that is thriving now is online is online media abakora internet. So atu wanjira ngo ubwire nyindeka yes it's a good move but in a bad timing because right now I don't see how media is going to struggling competing and mainstream media, traditional media is going to struggling with this modern media. Ukanjira ngo right now mustire garike yongera kuteka. Ujike amateka aga
they have modern to be saying that they have no adverts already.
Yes. So hatu waja ngojida chikano yuno bagira ngo ndakubiya message it's not going to be possible. Jitira kujira ngo I'm very eager to see how it's going to be implemented. Because tokambia ngo who is really struggling when it changes because is kushashara atsabesho nguzikane kushashara banga. Let's bring it here. Right now jango the radio station watu wanaja kushashara abesho nguzibanga. How many artists do we have in Uganda?
Yes, so many.
Whose music plays almost every day their radios. Muza kushashara bana bamari. Then chindi nyinda ngo inebe inteba ibintu kubanza bakora. Chinzi ehite kabarira kuchira it was rushed. This is what they should have done. Watchman, this thing involves tracking creative works, the performance, how music is performed, which is being played out there. What strategy are we going to? Because even right now, you know about even Bachigamba, Tina Munto even Nagamba get decide there how it's going to be.
Implement how it works.
Yes. So Bona by because for them, yes, because for them they think copyright guarantees wealth. Yes, it's all about data security and ownership ya wakaya. So right now, why me rokanjira ngo ochiresero mbirobu ebe ino kubanza ebe ino gukora tubyo ubandize cya muhero takoze ryo kubanza. Ntukimanya ngo ikintu kare ncyetaga mu internet. Bayina kubanza bacendeza internet nanka costs za internet. But making a strong umuntu nabasa accessing the internet. Unabona kuchireta. If internet is accessible, njimanisa nguna means zo tracking how their music is performing. Niza kuba accessible. Because the other day nyonka I'm sorry to bring this up, but Kawanaba disappointed. Back at bloggers and content creators and whatever. That just with judge or whatever. And guess what those guys guess what they said?
I was
the judge and even
and that defines exactly what
you have gone. You have gone to represent millions and millions of people who have not made it, who have not been able to make it to go to Chankwanz. Was it in Chankwanz? Where was it?
Chisozi.
Yeah, in Chisozi. You are representing someone in Arua, some people in diaspora,
and you're representing boys who have big dreams.
Yes,
by the way.
And then you are now making the objective selfish. It's all about you. They would have told them say that Bakabi no Gamba President, this is what we need. First, the world is moving to an internet era where almost internet is taking over everything. Banzo to change the data costs. Because right now actually internet is a necessity. Tuangushashara bills, nashashara mashanyarazi, nashashara ndishanga nashashara na wifi. So nchikueleka how important internet is. So bakabi nuko manza basa meeting such things. Then bakabona kujirachi, bakabona kubring up bya nanka nebye sense nacha. But because nyoka ina n'umuntu abandi bakabagona bananka ni batekayo, how are they going to be represented on nanka ni omo cabinet? No, you have gone as a content creator like commenting nanko. Yes. Because that's not the generation yananka ya minister of Lanka and technology. Yes, bakujira gutwaye takweta amosi ngo oriyo mbazizi or representing abazizi wakatanga gamba nkuti. Are you okay bro? Because ukojire ku representing content creators baka selecting a few and you are lucky to be one of them. And when you get there, the only thing you think about is what? Your own self. You be like, you know, judge doesn't send.
Instead of talking about issues like monetization.
Yes.
Now go copyright via copyright law when we're pushing for monetization.
Yes. Let's like for example today in Rwanda, TikTok is monetized. Sure. Creators are earning directly. But these guys, for some reason, Boba Karebango, 5 billion is much money than monetization. Echiteche barariro forever. Nimbani scrolling at TikTok mwende baho people bakolesa TikTok raising a fund zo for example omuntu yarwire cancer nachi. And this thing is working because TikTok is being monetized. Wakati ngo njirango between ho sako yabachi. What are you keeping there in the sako? Numbika yochi.
Sako taro no kuba.
Whether you know ni chimangu tero era ni mangu kuzirije baza kwetere bikoni. So sako ro ni chimangu tero. Era nako ya kobero. Teine nanka neri clear. Teine objectives that I nkiri azukweka you had gone as a content creator. Gambe chinde echoro mangu shabe chinde cyo kumangu bachi kwereza. Muza kusustain it forever.
And at the end of the day, the same guys that shout corruption eventually because of Museveni.
Yes.
And these are the guys that bring
and
down.
Remember, these are the guys abanta babafunira a chance. Traditional media batarawin. President Kweta kuza tinyena mu ngambere. What do you want me to do for you?
Let's talk. It's not something serious. Tugani.
Yes. Yes. Mu ngambere chimukwetaga. And all you could ever think of on mind yawe yon. Munda ina 1.2 kilograms of brain. Zono keko rame bigambo bishatuze njaja mpaka kusend. You have gone to represent someone. Now how will someone who has not gone benefit? Because it's not always about your if baba kweta ku represent. Don't be selfish. Wanda ko bananka ni wama rabenye majiriki uteke embere ya.
Now let's leave those the Uganda.
Yes. Now back. Lachoni chileta a point yo jirango. Tuino kuba tuine structure. Erabenka baseline ya this law. Tukushakara utakunyushisa. So acho tubanze kushakara. Corporate nabako direct. Omweso ngoza nakusindika ba representative ngomebe mero mabara.
That was my issue.
Yes.
Now, but tracking it, let them track the radio stations and TVs, TikTok, all that. In the back end, was sharing that. It's okay, but tracking. How will they pay them? That's what we want. That's why many of the village creative things
this bill is not clear. It's not clear. It's like explanation over here. It's not satisfying enough.
So you know,
yes, it's not satisfying because I think that doesn't make sense. Because right now, choda kujiranti. Oko ino kumanza wateka huma hand because bakora ganza muza kuhereza copyright. Hato banzoma nyoko barajite za kujinanka batamza. How are we going to get it implemented?
First of all, what is copyright? They baba kugambira bati.
Yes. Ukabanza
wama copyright echirinichi.
Bona mamanya eshimi no mutona mama kwa kufera music abakashora.
Bagamba copyright bagamba say.
Yes, for them to bakuma copyright. It's just about protecting your what? Your work.
Your rights.
Yes, kuja ngunyo in the right touch ntecho wa creating. Boko umuntu na make college business ne yabeye. Umuntu ayi mukakajati I am not and podcast. This boom podcast ne yanje. So na content ko kujikora no waje creating jera from scratch. Nayo kubere yawo.
Now we're distributing any clip on the creator. So that's the copyright.
So the Jamaican what wateka icho jamwa distributing clips. Content creators abinji. Especially on TikTok.
Abako distributing
the chopping, yes. Naza YouTube a chopping abreta TikTok.
But that's okay to me. We're protecting our work sparks. Kujango muntu ataka chop. To me that's okay because that's not original work to me.
Hadi it's yes, however much it's not original, wakani ono afere one. Because we get as an anchor and clips is about posting on TikTok. It's for more viewership than this because original. For some reason, umuntu ya posting a clip ka 5 seconds, ka 5 minutes. Umuntu na ureba curious to know what was in the entire interview, whatever. Yes. So out of that curiosity, naza yo viewing your whatever and good chance YouTube is monetized. So in the long run, you're but they don't mind about it. Kande chindi ni teka this is going to be nabaza kucherechera abakuchire kwa mikono yomwe shongozi. Janga beno isharam either anaenda kuchiza waka yeye ngayata kwenda kuchiza waka yeye.
Yeah, na waka yawe copyright.
Because yes, I don't want it to be mandatory. Because tokuza kunje makuja unyomizi ganja bile prayinga ananka.
That will be okay.
So I think chechera abeho effect ya checho nachoka nderia. If you what achikozere mandatory. Kokutoka kugira ngo twine an association of barbers in town. Twaja mu price ntwenda jiteka 15 uri umuntu okushara menze yakati 10.
So abatari mu association
we ateka nkomisha
abatimwe mwije bantu mwije
when after yes so nukusanga mwine confusion the other day kind of makoraga ifreeze nacho saba shows ba sharing so esatani lady open kuba mburize nkashi ya wencho ibet nyokija kukora
ati nyomwe
nyokija kukora so chimanisa utachikoze mandatory kuja ngochikorera mu chamaza ngo upcoming naza kuichiriza radio west ninga za ATV ati ATV nabahereza basa kuja you play my music
kandi upcoming no binzi
kati as in the long run shayo ATV yagumane playing a music yaba bana then inga barya bamana bahezere kumera amapapa mukagira ngo itatu ina mutsasho mwabara so in the long run ujita kana ngato nabyiyo tugaruko mu system yacu
police neba yafu
so tumaza ngo police eje
mugona
eje police hoja
so you're predicting that
that is the future nchecherabe chenye even mgamba just take this from me nibaza ko rate iteka you guys are going to get excited mama na mbore avenues zo kuri implementinga because you want to be able to track how your work is performing after dukutame ojerote no ebitabe kungasa because wasera okabura guguza nutagde no na stoka yawe negume ko deberira so naho ubwo barakusera ugereke wasigara no yiha mukache tugende market yitu ine right now ekabire ne yafunira mu bakabene bafunira mu nka streams unka streams abantu aba ku streaming ati binja aba ku streaming music why because abinji tabako bimanya data costs ziriya yiguru and all you guys are thinking about copyright you banzo manye user yes banzo manye user there are more ways of making money through this thing areming minje ko remesent through this thing for example you know Tekno Nigerian Tekno I think Korga using his voice akafuna mo buzibuna nakana na voice yes but unoshamangu even up to now Tekno is one of the richest artists in Nigeria yes music yetu jamone tambure chiri yako chamani but wakamanya chinyati one way need to do kuja even though nakumata question I can still earn streams nzoza kurira umunonga echa kabiri signing nanka ni contracts za nanka ni za aine nanka contract na Universal Music Group UMG yes and these guys are one of the biggest nanka no Africa so chimasa ngiyo omwesongozi kono mango chizibucha wene sente copyright right sort of injury instead china sort of chizibucha we it's either or exploring more avenues of making money out of this thing because in the economy music in nyingi back then people used to sell CDs omunda guys because nyoka injwa ko turi abana bareta kana kamoto kakobu CDs takaguza CDs na tapes guza CDs akamia no shangu one of the album ya nanka ni ya what was it Ker Mama Mia Keria is this album that he dropped so bareta album shangara bajuguza nanka obwire bwarugaho twazo mu digital era obwire bwaruga so hati no kugira ngo you know gumori mentally yes ahead of active yes okay iwa kamanyoti hati market yitu munea ne kwatrare ki because I was very excited I was very surprised the other day kuna rebele kamilion bako musondera sentaza kuzomerwa this is one if not the biggest artist in East Africa. Yes,
and you see that it's a norm in Uganda among the Ugandan artists that if someone wants something naza kurirainga handouts or central government it's always the government. Have you seen any artist correlation government that have influenced it in a
back then to Mr. Chine but right now to get Zak Shabana why because you have guys like Joshua if you look at Joshua na making use of the digital era kubani ya koramuna can say how often have you seen him perform on stage?
Not quite often.
Yes, tukushaka kumureba stage tukushaka kumureba mbivuru yari go munanka no mu campaign tara murebeyo but somehow his brand ero kandi akigona earning
and is actually moving.
Yes, was Rwanda these guys Rwanda can't sing nanka music market recently back in 2015 Rwanda they went to sing almost everything when it comes to music but go and visit their YouTube channels already nebakisinga almost everything because mgongo wanya Uganda we are very rigid kujamu like we take long transitioning yes when umuntu transitioning umuntu rabweni cyamugumera okimugamba ko jangu nabasa kubona center Spotify tinyezasha atatu yana bana bashora zinga bakimugira ngunka 1000 streams nibakuhereza nkemetwaro nka tatinyona tira show zanje ibiri abampo bukadebbi
atiyoni ngore kivu
wayeba kumanya ngo zitandika ziri 1000 zigenda ushanga iyo billion hata chimarusha kandi ariko nayegomba guys shanga ariko nayegomba the Davidos hata kubuza waza nanka ya Davido how no cha kumara perform. In fact those guys they rarely perform to the extent that they never can point you to take out to us.
Yeah, exactly. Na kujenga kwa maana ba performing that to us.
Yes. Wakura. Yes. Hati kukato mu Uganda is the country kushangu elizoba raroa chakare nankani chakare then the cycle continues that is the routine because nchita kujenga sita ezaje bana zibanguhira. This kind of nankani was on Hungarian. That's why you are struggling. Tinabeshongozi bakabiro kare. But on international scene, tino kuba because go investing amunongo mbintu kebi. Yes, corporate karo izere. Ko kunza munonga digitally. Shanga however much you are earning, uryono yongera nankani your audience. Audience yawe uryo negazia. Kumone kore no mangu you are comfortable no kusigaza Ugandan market. It's okay. No basa kusigara nankana these avenues za nankazo performing abivu. But for someone, I need that projection yojirangu I want to be international. I don't think ejo tiyo scriptation yakana kwelesa. You should go for something echo kolangu aligning with your with your vision.
And unfortunately not most of the Ugandan artists want to be international.
They want. They just don't have the avenues. They just don't have the avenues.
Wants to wake up one day at international. Because you can't be so comfortable if you want to do something.
Yes, when I'm comfortable, can't talk about takaba comfortable. Because it's the I think manyabi jabesho ngozabi njaba aba international, they are driven by the hunger kujirangu bafunde that market ibatini.
There is one.
Yes, they ati to hanuye. I'll be like, what was my dream? Get a car, build the house. But one of them, for example, they know their population is small. Population so what do they do? Their music is going to penetrate in other countries. So in so doing, the farther you go, then the more you earn. Because show ya Uganda wanojikora $1,000. Back with the show in the US was charging 10,000. Because already umuntu kuza kubooking na kubanza manyeti. Ugo umuntu kusanga best somewhere like in Uganda. Music yako za kumpuka hana hondi. Nchimanyisa ngo avenues za korise atwe nazishashora. Yes. So ushanga umuntu na respecting with that nanga ushanga even the pay you are getting the pay that is worth nanga. Eddie Kenzo akagona gamba the first time he went to the United States in his chaos. Akashikaya shanga star. And then these guys approached him jango bakoreshe shongoro. Kuba Israel akata tumuri taraje no kujanga akata kumanyangoro no kusigning empapura. Yes. Akata kumamena no kumuhereza sente tubaramuhira.
Because he was so excited.
Yes, izo kangu bakizati ya jamka. Njango kumwe nanza kutsaba like $1 million. Guess what bro did? He was excited
because bro had the biggest song. Akai na mashanyara.
Urode wakali kuna wara farming kushanga nguyana ka.
Yeah, kama so.
It used to be a big deal. Yes. That now this is enough for me. Because I'm saying kama no revinto na nishaba.
Now, daga tugamba music aggregators hati. Yes. Na nanga tugambena na hali mudundo.com DJ Ericom. Remember where you had it first. Where does that leave the DJ Ericom MP3 Jaja? Our guy in Wakora music, in distributing a music.
Those are distributors
for free. The distributors, sorry.
Distributors kuza kutamu market kushara kataka rami bakatamu market because artists we are hungry for what? For an audience. kare kuza kufuna ekishongoro kyo mu Uganda kikacho bachugumera few of them bukaba biga awap trick ebyamani bakuza kushanga ngofanya ekishongoro kyo mu shongozo
na tribid nango
yes ada tribid nabo kuza kuchibona ata binaga magezi because it had eke nankane eke long criteria to get the ekishongoro kihe so what these guys did bakija ka promoters so from ground promotion they raised the bar high but taking a step higher bakora sites
bazana digital
bakora sites sites ezo abantu nkicho kureba ngo bakaba batakucharginga beshongozo kusubmitinga either ya work because bakaba kimanyire ngo those sites do what pay but bakataka ngo eshongozo bagerechi bakimanye ngo ndizishashora so kwa umuntu kwabeshongozo eshongoro back then those guys would do what which submitting baba chisana kai
kana rona procedures of submitting
yes
they have to check if your music is good or
yes
baba chiteka ibafuna kasene
yes so bachimara kuchiteka yo ati ugariko usigara kutambuza link umufutambuza link those guys are earning
the more kabateka muchitsi chamarish kumeza
no all they did was wake up in the morning and build the site because ushana kunyato umuntu akomana teka a step ahead of you you are always going to be on his heels Mbasaka mustam hanu yanka wariko na planning about tomorrow hata wakoreko mu yesterday so ichimanisa ngo wori go mu yesterday misho gatira today hata wari go mu today misho gatira tomorrow so watu urakusijisa o step so abeshongozi bakaba china haka katambara so ababa yayi echikumanya yes I think umuntu abatakihiremu na basabuti hamwe eshaba implemented because not in a right so kucharachi
but most of them did ninjaba antabinda babihe themselves
they've made a lot money. They have made a lot because Niger has been here like since about 20 what
these guys
yes hati music guys were too desperate for attention to the extent ngo bakaba bashashura every means ezukubasa kubasya kai last consumer so I remember we had guys like B2K selector there are guys like DJ Shiru bakora mixtapes that guy for your song to feature in that mix bro oko ino kushkorerera
we had a DJ in Western akari bana akana mota DJ Y2K something like that DJ
yeah I think we're gonna ameshuka don't cut you know we had a lot of guys it don't have a business Konkeke business because guys were the artists and the creators were too desperate for attention desperate yaba driving into what umuntu wokuba desperate omukwa decision no kumata kusema because all you are focusing on I want to have an audience.
Oh now how about these guys let's leave these guys now let's talk about the distro bade nwabetabatapo
nabona ba distributors only that ababo they are so professional in what they are doing for example the same business koko kureba we had guys like Ngoma one of the videos nyingi za kareza ankaza kamyon zero Ngoma then our whole vivo near even up to now yes even up to now but those are set on an international standard kujangubo they are aligned with the copyright thing whatever nera na wakunankayo na wakureba abeshongoza abinezo nankabishongo ba vivo abantu bachamanyangu sente zinko aninga vivo ino percentage yes so I hope your business they are not going to be affected nkaba ba B2K bichibisha
but even the distro days they won't be affected
kashata bocho
the moment you distribute so now like ngato ko bino shoza EP ya ukajiteka hari bari ya then bari akajidistribute
yes ngiza kubanchurujira umuntu the artist if you are too desperate for attention or for an audience you have an option noza kubagondera oyo nicho wakora if you are one of the audience yenye yamara I'm not too desperate for it
sente no kuzia
kahati ni wara ndemande kurema ngo cyosongoro album yawe waje distributing
monetize
waje distribute unoza kuje distributing because that
wayanga kwatwara iba
yes wabire those hati ya distributors bakija mukabanta babene batamza CD but in a digital way yes kujangu nasoje songoro yendo chimpichiza platforms z'abantu bagirachi yes kujangu abantu yana achene changa umuntu yasacinga ha WhatsApp nanka audio wati yachufuna umuntu yaza TikTok umzawundi kirungu kugira ngo cyaba everywhere si wano reba ngo umuntu ogubasa well and good niyo nobasa kuchekorera ningo album ya wajitambuza ukigaliza CD yo juguzo wanu wana
kuza mu library.
Yes, ukikugira nti this copyright thing it's a good move but in a wrong time.
It comes in a wrong time.
Yes.
If you copyright your album, you copyright a song. Kuriya no chiteka yo chizayo.
Okay.
Because the other guys
nothing writes that except wachiteka ngona aliga momba nankana kandi wachiteka uso nchomanisa munaza kumana achirira forever.
It will be so complicated for this artist.
So chikugira nti boba chishembega because they think the copyright will guarantee them worth but echibebuga kubebwe kumanyangu it's not what they think and echa kabiri binoko garako kiyo information ngo zinyinga singa creative okashita mu chirita ukajoriti is my music worth
copywriting.
Yes, iwamara kuchibuzo kareba if it is well and good go ahead ojoti nyowe Radio West, TV West, whatever, nanka 8 TV, wanda
kukola my platforms.
Wano wanda kukolesa nanka platform yanje.
Taro
wanda kukolesa yes. I need to be paid. Kuko jike no banze wabara maybe into bibiri. Kora gambere 8 TV ngo etakolesa your work. 8 TV neza kuba affected.
Yeah, so
they be like katugwe nawe bichiel tunyumiza china. Yes. Yes. As you can, these guys have better music than we do. Yeah. These guys yes. Yes. So hati njimanyisa ngu iwanoza kushita mankiwe uyerewe joti is my work be worth being copyrighted. What I'm sure worth it, go for it.
Now, these guys are talking about creators in general, but I don't see where umano kola stand-up comedy arakuza kubenefit from copyright. Minus maybe registering the Brady under URSB, of which it's also a long procedure that creators don't know. Atacheze copyright yaba iba kugamba bashiba na Kenzo.
Atacheze copyright abagenzere bakajefuga
nabeshongoza. And they are putting these others in okay by the way.
Yes. But and even these others and wabetira because they don't know how to own their work. For example, a stand-up comedian when amanyangu the only way he can get his work out there no kuza comedy store no kuza stage akajiteka. Tabako manyangu you can get your camera okore comedy wamara kora comedy ojiteke ojidistributing
or building a website.
Not even a website. Wasa jiteka YouTube. Wasa jiteka kai because we knew there was this guy Tata Samu. Yes. Pablo. Haro abantu yes.
Okero does amazing. Na bibi yana bikora teka ya YouTube. Yes. Wasa header in a website and a link ya bookings
so,
and he has everything.
So sabanye ganda bero kuchima kugira ngo there are more ways of making money other than performing even if the copyright doesn't work. Because choni chimanya I'm 100% sure it won't work. Abamari yono bakobanza bagiteke haba kwerega. Bamara kugiteka radio zanazo zabavimbe. Abakukoresa bavimbe because the music ya wetera had demand as such. Because tuja ngonashonga iyo songo ya Christmas ngo kika mutuba ngo no. Your music umuntu nabasa running his business etaro. So iwahora ajira majoka jiteka yo chimasangu oko mission yeko yanga gukora kandi atuniyogarike so ni mangu naza kwangu kanyangu na nari yanje mumanye how do I earn from this thing. For example, do you know Kendrick Lamar a Super Bowl ya 2024 tabaramsha shwire. Yes, he wasn't paid. Wakajirati nyenda I want to own full rights za performance ida jirich
in performance.
Yes, and you go on YouTube and see it's all, yes, in 2 years erium 204 million views. So ndimanyisa ngwaka aka opting yes aka opting for one time pay aka in options ziviri either to take a one time pay ninga sikufuna a lifetime payment. So wakachireba yajira so ndikunyanti umuntu kwakubanya nateka munonga yashicenge kamati there is another way of making money kuko yizika inabanda bajira ka performing. For example, one of the most famous Super Bowls, Ikaberi Ariana, I think. Just imagine. Right now, you're on billions and billions of views.
If she adopted for that.
Because kuya hata na Super Bowl kwechi manyere hata na ejo ofata ejigaruza
naenda kwashasho.
Yes,
That's why these guys are the richest guys.
Yes.
These artists.
Yes, because 204 million nankan revenue kwa nerga, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So right now beshongo ziri kushima nkopa itobe kora betakora bino kugaruka bakongera abonko bwabo bakamanya how do I get an international market,
how do I modernize and become a bigger.
Yes, turgo mchincha stage because hakuza stage muno ngana mafutanga kuza bukono bakasanga because in Nigeria upcoming zina kuza stage upcoming when stages nanka kwa na concerts nacho these are home media nanka me average artists bichi unga you will never sing echiniro Davido. It will never happen.
Now let's talk about sensitization. Do you think these artists, most of the artists and creatives, really know whatever is always happening, especially with the laws? On parliament ngare bagamba rujungurwa rwa constitution bagamba chi narabe shongozi banje naja mwana toiba ina bishenga kweli. Like they have that language. Don't you think these artists and when that sensitization, do we know what copyright is? Do we know all these languages we use? Ntumanya URS binchi, ntumanya kutoa registering the patent and all that. Do we know the technical terms or they are just
actually that will go back to their leaders, the federation. That is no be task yokurebangu. They have to break it down for the last artist, for the last man. Yes, kuriyangu nawe yachichenga. So ndingagira ngo barigid bakuchenga konka right now bacu mushobora kubara cyumushobora niri kumutama aho buzo ntoburi.
And do they want to nibenda ko check nibenda ko cyumutame
ashate yarunzo buzo hoburize nabakucigambira mbache bacha barashicenge because nyari itekanyoni nibanyaburira akorre aburira akorre but nawe sitira abakora. Because the industry can sustain without you.
Okay, let's talk about Iteka Museveni ya signing, of which never likely the president may not. Now wasakora yamuta muzare mu kwa kuzo he has bounced many bills atigara jamwiro ko muzigake muziteka teko and ikatjengu yakora ya signing. The enforcement, many laws have come in Uganda up to now to inamateka gatachikora kanda gari umuntu akora umuntu chinda kama unawasa kumukomesa, but the enforcement, talking about the security and all that, like laws don't work here. Do you think this is the law that will work? Does enforced?
To collect you somehow. To take a record. They got to order that implementation in Uganda. We are somehow big-headed when it comes to corresponding at laws. But from what I know, that guy is wise. 7 languages. When I was now either yafurira bokuchimara mara kachimanya ngo tarakori. Wachara akore naza kurusaininga kubajirachi kubeiha. Because they have been on his neck for the longest of time. But you don't say to not siding into this. Konka nacho right now kuna chukubaramu. I know someone is thinking ukiteka tekanyi. I know someone is out there yachiteka teche. So nkashukubarabrete. Are these guys going to respond? Our radio station is already willing to pay these guys. Is there any alternative kugira ngo mubazebere kugira ngo radio ziza tatire music ya Uganda when inembere yeti iro kurango nirite kwa rukore already naona bachirango it's not there. So ni chimangu nakugira chi nakurisa ininga after 1 to 2 years abashongozi bari baritine kiri kubagasa bo nkana baza kuswitchinga back to the army.
True.
Yes, because ikintu kizibu cya washanga oroko azoro kwenda kora ikintu kiri international. You must align with your audience. Iyo kugira ngo you have international standards tokuzireka wituru kunjiri nozitwara mu United States.
Sure.
Yes, iwano mangu yewe wano yere kujata utechi kino kubakiriya icyo kabo ino kucreatinga kare uko ino kwanga kuza shows abantu bakateka odimani bere ukase bwayo batura kamiliyoni nashaje uko ino kwanga kujya kinyoka resite team kuzenda we as artists tuzangerezo perform ingiro ngo busente abantu abaraza kuturebaho bino ko ba either baturira radio kandi radio kuza kutukureyinga bino ko batusashira kugira ngo uteke hiyo demand, but you are the kind of guy you are everywhere orumao orumayibobo umuntu nakobugana makansingi akusanga amayembe gente samwenda kusanga university bwagera tubwira kusanga munankani ayamwe umwazo mwetomera kwa samda mugecho komwa. So chimanisa ngo you operating njira nankani your business in a local setting and a local setting turaji forcing kuhereza international results. Yes. So chimanisa ngo ihanga no streamlining the audience first cyujana dirant right now numbasa kugira ngo enjira abantu bakura music mbanze mbakurire batange kujihurira Spotify maze mbegese streaming umuntu ari kugira ngo cyishongoro cyiza and the first thing that comes in his mind is on YouTube because kuba kureba even artists nabo artists are even bana turya munakana artists are even loko kugira ngo mwana umukora like mwana umukora nka fry cyishongoro they don't even care kugira ngo take a digital platform abinji no biteka atongo umuntu bwiye bwo tinabwo but deep down ubona amanyango cyishongo kucyara ashobore akakora yaminga ngo ino kusendeka link ya YouTube so nje manyisa nguwe narira YouTube yo ngata kuchimanya ngaro nankani kuchimanya ngaro Spotify takuchimanya ngaro Audiomack takuchimanya ngaro iTunes takuchimanya ngaro Tidal Music and those guys pay even ridiculous amounts of money even more than YouTube wetakuchimanya so nje manyisa audience yotera chamanya ngibintu bro yumukama ucyishongo takawo taza no ucyishongo cyari ya Spotify because back then umbire wa ahogere mu TikTok bakajeto mu njerejo I remember there was a time where Facebook was the biggest link and the biggest thing.
It was big.
Yes. Yes. Konka umuntu wa TikTok package aligning with the local audience. Kureba ngo consumption yayo takwita go umuntu no wako banasoma no wako batakusoma. It was a whole.
It can reach the ordinary man.
It was all around kugira ngo umuntu no biya kubariya tabwe. Konka yes, X, Instagram and Facebook were all text-based platforms.
For the elite.
Yes, so usanga umuntu atiza interface yayo ariba it was like very complicated ari ibintu mwena baburuga. Konka uri ya jati I want to simplify these guys with them bafune content in the cheapest means. Then yamara yajiba presenting. So wanda kugira ngo nda kuteka copyright. Banza abantu bashapeninge bateko position iko rango basa ku transitioninga barugo mu era yo kuza kubona music ya library bazo mu era yo ku streaming music ananka ni
online.
Yes, because right now turiyo mu election almost mbere ndi abakugira ngo omunanka ni omu urban centers MTN and Airtel mu the coverage ya wifi iriyo almost 40% coverage ya wifi y'abantu abakugikoresa na kina so cyane kwereka echo abantu bakarwa murembe go gura data warukumye.
There is progress now.
Yes. Hata nabagura wifi abatagura wifi na take each chikumara hobiri so nkwereka ngo uredo go muntu yakoresha interest munakoreza internet no find a way kora ngo munjira yakugikoresa ni wagira waganyirwa but you're not going to wake up in the morning and you think of but I go copyright I'm going to earn
and you share memes all day.
Yes, is the last consumer prepared? Yes, it's a good idea, but in the wrong timing. This thing won't work, and I'm eager to see. Eager for it can never work.
Thank you so very much for watching. Thank you so much for taking your time. We are the Boom Podcast. We are on AIT TV, and of course down at the Boom Podcast YouTube. That's where we are at. Down at Deezer, Spotify, Overcast, Streamcast, Spotify. Spotify. You can just go for our podcasts. And of course, we are on over 20 plus streaming platforms. This is a podcast episode every fresh Monday, so make sure you get to see the discussions. Today, I have Brady's back to Yaha Cafe Cream. Cafe Cream is located along Kakoba Road. Bineza burgers, pizza, just in case you want to, after the evening to wind down the whole day, come through Cafe Cream. Now, I want to remind you guys, just in case you're coming to the southwest, you're coming to Western Uganda, the only big hotel to visit is Igongo County Hotel. Yeah, Igongo County Hotel has amazing, spacious cuisines, the beds and everything that you need. Just in case you're a tourist, you're coming maybe to have a good time in the southwest, Igongo County Hotel should be your plug. ATV is where you should subscribe and wait for all those podcasts and of course shows. We have the top 10 Western Uganda countdown every kind of Friday. And for you the guys that need streaming services, maybe you have a burial, you have a party and everything you need to cover the conference, it has amazing streaming services. These guys are at your service. Now, Brady, let's wind down this. And of course, what's your advice if you are a creative, or what would you like to tell the creative out there about the copyright, and not even about the copyright, everything? What should be the strategy? Just when I'm excited about something that won't benefit them.
It's a money, it's because they come in Yankol. Utakai for mugezi mnongo. one man copyright no agenda zahe horror here it's not going to work. I'm sorry to say this. Tija unajibinga. In my POV, it's not going to work.
True.
Because already music you're playing is fake. So it's going to pay all those huge amounts of money. In the bar, channel socialism centers and you're playing fake music. No one is ready.
I saw Kawakasa. Is it Kawakasa? The guy of King Bob. Copyright. You just know copyright not kulira. Mbara.
Warangori umugezi munonga. Warangori umugezi munonga. No, zakufuruka no United States niyo akuba hanu copyright yatera kugasire. Onre that ekintu cyo rafune no zakufuna mu data nanka no kufuna mu data protection yogerangu waka yahone yawe. So ekimura akore cyamane kinkumanya no mukusaba abantu bamareho. Musemo kusaba abantu byamara batame upcoming abikiri.
That's like the computer based is active, so the results.
But China point iteka bajara chi barrier because nyincho chikudana nditeka Museveni na kurusaninga because he has been pressurized a lot. Kuzurida chika warabye ko umuntu akariya kuba ari akara umuntu arikusaba ikintu yamuta kucheta akaje kanchi kuchira kutamugere chinko yihe. He already knows.
The speaker benajambu. If I play your song on the weekend, you saw that Kabaka Simon Chagamba. So I've been at the Gambra, not take a song of Tawa, weekend FM, meaning social and promoting a music. The same argument by the student to Gamba. But still, that's the truth. Mutayira music, I the music need you of day.
Ewe ino kuchimanya ngano ya music take playing economically. Music can playing kuyamba, chiyamba mwe tujangu tukashira lejo point. But for example, I think a brand like there's some bigger brands. For example, the Prime Radio and Weasel. Because there was a point where radio and TV cover it was just inevitable. You couldn't.
Every day.
And
that's why they were fighting.
Yes. Yes. Ongo we and we are moving kana ba UPRS. UPRS bakatweta haria nankani bakatweta Las Vegas. So we sat. But so really too complicated. Uchenda kumuza tabakushobora. Ushika bakaba famu nonga cha music distribution. So abantu muzana bajero nakuba idea bona vision bebuzo mahanda kwa customer bagamba.
Of recent.
It was back, I think it was 2 years back.
UPRS is back. By the time to have Arantonics. Uganda performing rights.
Yes, those are the guys.
Guys were this side of recent. This
Bagarchere. By the Onkare Baba race again.
Those are the guys.
At those guys, washange chintu takubasa kuchishobora omuntu uchikiza kugasara. Ukenda ngochete in a complicated manner. There is no way ogo muntu araranka. Umuntu agona kuvuza kibuza because tukazo munaka no conference then ko badziye mubuze one artist akimka yabuza ati why are we here? Conference katanga mukashe zikazi bashayi 11 zomwazo has been running almost for a whole day and this guy has got absolutely nothing. And utakajanga karowenga kwe achigambira bwo ngwi weto kunwe abuza. So nyana makaka point bari yamwe chide baraho baratuna. So the different ite karkari kora the bigger brands we had back then is touching your heart because those bigger brands that was big back then that is kago. Think I could be here because one whatever life those people even right now it's hard kujiramo. Mabasa kumusasho already abamwe aya bigger brands hata bakuzire hata kandi hata nabone bakore by'abantu abentura nkani hata nabakora hariga nankana campaigns zanaka.
I get you.
Yes. So in the long run usanga ngo hatocho basa kushashurwa kunka in the prime days of those days, for example nka 2018 prime fig for make aho jango shindo wakachisaba ya music yaje kujipurenga ino kumusashura. TVs and radios zikaza radio kuchukora because he had that influence kujanga bata play njo mutana basana kuruga TV wa switching za next channel. Yes. There was that point kujangati bakujira ho beef automatically ono bawawo. Ombwire bwabwa nankana bwa the big 3 bakabi no kuchitanduko obwe ongo bwiremwe bakagono bakisibuza CDs. So chikuja to bwire bwichangu tumeto kwa research tumanye bito ko bukora in other countries. That's why hands to know chigomera kufana in international star. Yes, abuto inano
what to ento mutera si Joshua Baraka. We are fighting him. because he is international.
Mentally, Ugandans were not ready to have an international
artist. Who said it? Who said that? Someone said that.
We are not ready to have that because to change the international artist scenario. Because if those guys in Rwanda, whatever, how could get someone the support they give? Had one, for example, these guys, there is this ROG, this new generation of Rwandan artists. Etienne Muba, Metere, Kevin Kadere, is this. Do you know what those guys? They make sure they are pushing each other. Audience tapping. Here in Uganda, it's the other way around. Audience audience when was the last time you had an all-star song?
I don't remember.
Back on the song 7 bamujango twetara international song all-star song hariho angwe cyo match kambinga song muri kizaraho.
Don't you think the audience is also to blame? We are more of having a really puzzle Runabe song play more than to embracing the Joshua Baraka. Whenever Runabe song plays, that's a problem. They are like, yeah, this is the song now. I've seen Runabe saying, audience Joshua Baraka imba bichi. Ani ina hit kati something like that. Don't you think the audience also wants a literacy skill?
Just na kuguarantee. Okufuna international audience, you have to have an international. No, mentally ready to be international. Tokubajem. Uganda bino mweshongo mwingi. Era kuja abakuja nabeshungi munonga nabakundege abantu abakweshunga. Umuntu orukweshunga atakakunda umuntu ari serious. Because if we love the serious things, A-Pass would be the biggest gem. Tukabe twine people like Lilian Babazi, people like Nava Gure kuno bacheshonga kuno ba legends. Tukabe twine people like who is this woman? Those are the brands that talk about twin. Yes, because I remember Aaron Tonics back then I was struggling abantu batakumuchenga. Kukaso gunainde bichugayo guna sanko kurab chip.
Maza kuchimanya bwire babwa.
Yes, your style is so urban.
Umuntu engaya nabayatame.
Yes. So aho kwegera gumano kireto so kusanga na no muntu audience yorumu. Hate gumana heto romu liye. Wasanga the biggest star munayishongora ngo kusimba kagere nyankani. That music it can never cross Busia. It will take Basa kuna. Era no mukusiga zomwe mu cyeshongeramu. Tena jango kindi cyo roko nichi. Aite chikwa cyo roko then mu modernize mchiteka international market. For example, the amapiano. Amapiano gari originally owned in Southern Africa.
South Africa.
Yes. So unko bakaminga songo bachi maintaininga, bachi koraje, bachi blendinga with the modern and the modern aspects.
Jango na chachi komu Uganda ninga mu ndamucha Africa US.
Yes. So they set the bar. Boba ka settinga the bar. But even the international, I saw no even in the United States. Kariabana the other day, in a tour in South Africa. Kana zinama pia. So chukweka influence chini. So one was simba kagereka wakasimbe konka please be reminded ngo chararenga.
There is huge difference. Okay, now let's wind down. I tend to have questions that happen. Only that we talked about and copyright twazigamba munongo bwire bwagenda. But now I can't let you go before we go for personal questions. It's just simple. Now today's edition to that one I will ask you about goated things. Now, for example, I'll ask you for the goated football player all time.
Oh my days. Without a doubt, Lionel Messi. I'm sorry if you guys are offended. Because I'm offended. It's just a
goated meal of all time. Goated meal.
Ooh. Goated meal, let me see. I think it's just local stuff. Local stuff. Local stuff. Carlo, no. Commando is not local. It's local meals. The meals that we grow from scratch.
Okay. Goated sport.
Football. Nothing comes close.
Every day, every time.
Nothing comes close.
Goated African president.
But I think Ibrahim Traore.
Of Burkina Faso. Yeah, that's a nice guy. Goated artist of all time.
Of all time? Oh my days, now this you're putting me on spots. I think I would say Michael Jackson. But contemporarily, I would rather Chris Brown. Yes, but
you're stroking.
yes. So it's either one of those two because Chris Brown is the Michael Jackson of this
Of
era.
today.
Yes.
Talking about Michael Jackson, guys, the Michael biopic is coming very soon. It's a documentary about his life. It's coming in April. Yeah, April around then.
I'm looking
Of
forward.
course, goated music album of all time.
Oh, album. Let's go 11-11.
11-11.
Chris
Peanuts. Chris Brown. Then goated football team. That's no doubt. Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Okay, now I think we have to wrap up the show. Thank you so very much, guys, for having us today. For actually taking your time and having us stream. Yeah, we're streaming. Probably. Until we see you next time. I had Brady Sparks on this podcast. And remember, you can get us on ETV. And of course, down at Boom Podcast, we're always right there. Follow us, subscribe to the channel. Maybe before I go, there's a crazy fact about music. Now, the most covered song of all time is called Yesterday. Yesterday is the most covered song of all time. It was done by the Beatles. The Beatles is a goated band, I can say. Music band. I can remember Paul McCartney, John Lennon, Ringo Starr. The Beatles had the nicest music. Yesterday is the most covered song in history. Until we see you next time, you guys. Stay watching ATV and of course keep it the Boom Podcast. I'm gonna be back next Monday. I see you, man. Out.
Please welcome